Imagine the most powerful man in the world. He controls the largest empire on earth. He commands 1,000,000 soldiers. He has more gold than any man alive. And every morning before the sun rises, before anyone else wakes up, he sits alone in a cold, silent room, writing in a small notebook that he never planned for anyone to read. Not about his victories, not about his power, not about his gold, but about how to be a better human being. So why did the man who had everything choose to die on the cold edge of a battlefield instead of in his golden palace? Hello and welcome. Relax and let's begin. Today, we follow the story of Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled the entire world, yet spent every single day trying to rule himself. Let's explore together. It was the year 121 AD, in the heart of Rome, the greatest, most powerful city the world had ever seen. Marble streets, soldiers marching in every direction, senators debating the fate of nations, citizens who believed their city would last forever. And in a quiet home near the center of it all, a boy named Marcus was born. His father died when Marcus was just 3 years old. 3 years old, before Marcus could even remember his face. His grandfather took him in, and from the very first day, the old man taught him one thing above everything else. Power without wisdom is the most dangerous thing in the world. Marcus was given the finest teachers in Rome. He studied philosophy. Philosophy is the love of wisdom, the practice of asking deep questions about how to live well, how to think clearly, and how to treat others with fairness and kindness. Most boys his age were chasing games in the streets of Rome. Marcus was reading, writing, asking questions that most adults didn't want to answer. His teachers noticed something unusual about him. While other students wanted to be admired, Marcus wanted to be good, not famous, not powerful, not rich. Good. And then one afternoon, a decision was made that would change his entire life forever, whether he wanted it to or not. The Emperor Hadrian, the ruler of all Rome, was dying. He looked across the greatest empire on earth and saw no one worthy to lead it after him. No son, no clear heir, no one strong enough to carry the burden of 60 million lives. Until he saw Marcus, a quiet boy, 17 years old, with no army, no political experience, and most unusual of all, no desire for power whatsoever. Hadrian pointed at him and said, "That one, he will be emperor." Marcus did not want the throne. He had imagined a life of books, of philosophy, of quiet mornings spent in thought. But in Rome, when the emperor chose you, you did not say no. He was taken from his peaceful life overnight, trained in military strategy, taught the art of war, of governance, of managing an empire that stretched from Britain in the north to Persia in the east. Everything changed in a single day. He wrote in his journal that night, "I was given a role I did not ask for, so I must simply do it well." Those words would carry him for the next 40 years. At the age of 40, Marcus became emperor. 60 million people, borders touching 4 great seas, armies spread across a dozen countries. And in his very first year on the throne, the plague arrived. A plague is a deadly disease that spreads rapidly from person to person, moving from city to city, killing thousands before anyone can stop it. It swept through Rome like fire through dry grass. Soldiers fell by the tens of thousands. Cities emptied overnight. Markets closed. Streets that had been full of laughter became silent and still. Advisors urged Marcus to leave Rome, to go somewhere safe. to protect the emperor. Marcus refused. He stayed. He organized food for the sick. He paid for the burial of the poor from his own treasury. He walked through the dying streets of Rome, streets that every other powerful man had abandoned, and he let the people see their emperor. Present, unafraid, still there. But here is what most people don't know. Every single night, after the chaos and grief of the day, after the meetings and the decisions and the weight of a dying empire, Marcus went back to his private room, and he wrote. Not orders, not laws, not proclamations. Small, quiet notes to himself, reminders, short sentences about patience, about loss, about how to face the next morning when everything felt impossible. One night he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He never planned for anyone to read these words. He wrote them only for himself, to survive the next day. For 19 years, Marcus ruled. And for most of those 19 years, he was not in Rome. He was on the battlefield, cold winters on the northern frontier, sleeping in military tents on frozen ground, eating the same food as his soldiers, watching young men die every morning when the sun came up. The man who loved books and philosophy spent the greatest years of his life in the mud and the blood of war. His body grew weaker with every campaign. His hands began to shake. His eyes blurred in the cold. And one gray evening, as snow fell quietly over the military camp, his most trusted generals came to him. They stood at the entrance of his tent, hesitant, uncertain how to begin. Finally, the oldest one spoke. "Caesar, you are sick. The empire needs you alive. Rome needs you alive. Will you please go home?" Marcus looked up slowly from his notebook. He looked at each of them in turn. And what he said next left every man in that tent completely silent. Marcus looked at his generals and said quietly, "A man's life is only as long as his last breath, but a man's worth that is measured by what he does with every hour he has been given. I will not go home." He stayed on the frontier. He continued leading. He continued writing in his notebook every night, without fail, until his hands could barely hold the pen. In the year 180 AD, on the cold northern border of his empire, Marcus Aurelius died. Not in a golden palace, not surrounded by silk and servants, in a military tent, on the edge of the world, doing his duty until the very last hour of the very last day. After his death, his private notebooks were found. His servants did not destroy them. They published them. The world called them meditations. Meditations means the private, personal thoughts that a person writes, not to impress others, not to be remembered, but simply to remind themselves how to live with purpose on every ordinary, difficult day. Today, nearly 2,000 years later, Meditations is still in print. CEOs read it before making decisions. Athletes read it before competitions. Soldiers carry it into battle. Ordinary people read it on quiet mornings before the world demands their attention. A man who wrote only for himself ended up speaking to every human being who came after him. And perhaps your journey is no different. Here is what Marcus understood that most of us forget. Every morning, you wake up with 86,400 seconds. No more, no less. The same number Marcus had. The same number given to every person who has ever lived, rich or poor, powerful or forgotten, emperor or farmer. The only question that has ever mattered is what you will do with yours. Marcus asked himself that question every single morning before the world demanded his attention. He did not wait for someday. He did not wait until things calmed down. He did not say, "When I have more time, I will start living. He chose every single day to spend his hours on what truly mattered. Before the clock ran out, before the candle burned low, before the last page was written, Marcus Aurelius began as a boy who lost his father at 3 years old. He never wanted power. He never stopped carrying its weight. But every single morning, he chose to begin again. His story teaches us this. Time is not money. Time is not a resource. Time is your life. Every hour you waste is a piece of your life you will never, ever get back. Marcus had 60 million people waiting for his decisions. He had wars to fight, plagues to survive, an empire to hold together. And he still found time every morning, before sunrise, to sit in silence and ask himself what kind of person he would choose to be that day. Not someday, today. Keep going. Keep learning. The time you have is the only time you will ever get. Your story is still being written, but the clock is already ticking. I want to ask you something. Not tomorrow, right now. What is 1 hour, just one, that you spent this week on something that did not matter? And what would Marcus have done with that same hour? Write your answer in the comments, because the moment you name it, you take back the power to change it. And if you want to keep learning English through stories that stay with you, stories that teach you something real, subscribe so you never miss the next journey. I'll see you in the next one.